This is the Uptick Newswire Stock Day podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube to stay up to date on penny stock news and interviews, public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world, with your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, I'm bringing you a brand new company and a brand new guest. They fell on my radar about 6 months ago, and I'm telling you, if you're going to go buy a great CBD company or cannabis company, you want to take a look at Smart Cannabis Corp. They're trading at just about 5 cents a share. They've already done $3 million in revenues in 2017. That's only about 9 months, and they're profitable. That's right, profitable, $1.4 million. And with us to talk about the company today is the Chief Operating Officer, Don Smith. They also trade on the OTC markets, SCNA. Don, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Everett. Glad to be here.
You know, give my listeners a little bit about statement of who you guys are and what you're about.
I'll be glad to. So, Smart Cannabis Corporation it's a group of very passionate people that are committed to doing what we say we're going to do and building companies the old-fashioned way, and that is, make a profit. What a concept,
right?
So, Smart Cannabis is our wholly owned is our holding company. SCNA being the stock symbol. John Taylor, our president, and my partner, and myself embarked upon the cannabis marketplace journey in about 2010. We invented a patented device called the vertical wall, and we sold that to a previous company that we both ran called Green Grow Technologies. It was one of the Forbes hot sectors, when cannabis went legal in 2014. And after departing that company after a few years, we built a company in stealth mode up here for about a year, just trying to get a sense of, hey, where's this cannabis company going for cultivation? But more importantly, where's the world is running out of food. So we built a company called Next Generation Farming, and then in approximately November of 2016, we teamed up with some folks that we know that are public market specialists, and they provided an opportunity for us to sell our company into a public traded entity and take over the majority control of that. So John Taylor and I are actually the majority owners and board members of Smart Cannabis, which we changed the name so that our company would be right in the crosshairs of the ideal investment community for where this market's going over the next couple of years. So Smart Cannabis Corp owns Next Generation Farming, and Next Generation Farming, in a nutshell, provides smart automated greenhouse systems manufactured right here in California. We're on a run rate to do about $300 million next year, and it's made up of a group of very intelligent people that are committed to making a profit and growing a real business here for cannabis cultivation and organic farming.
So you're telling me that you guys will finish up the year a little bit, probably past $3 million, and next year your expectations of revenues are again?
We currently are sold out through about May of next year, which is an unbelievable thing to go say on any show, right?
Right.
But because we control the manufacturing process, and because I know very intimately the order backflow that we've got, the company's capable of creating right now more than $600 million worth of greenhouse revenues, but we have right now we have orders in the deal flow pipeline of approximately $300 million for 2018.
Well, let me ask you this. What is it that makes you guys such a unique leader ahead of the rest of the pack? Because there's hundreds of cannabis companies out there that they're trading anywhere from 2 cents a share to $1 a share.
That's correct. Well, in my experience, and again, experience here is a nebulous term, right? But John Taylor and myself have been in this business since 2008. We invented a device, right? Brick and mortar, real stuff. I would say the number one driving factor that makes us different here is that we want to be a company that does what we say we're going to do. And we turned this company profitable in the first 90 days that we became a public entity. It's amazing to me that all the bellwether stocks out there we mentioned in our various press releases, they lose $20 million, $10 million, $30 million, and no one cares about whether people make a profit. Ultimately, if you're going to give a result to your shareholders, you've got to make a profit. So what sets us apart is this. Number one, we do what we say we're going to do. Number two, we make a superior product. For example, our automated greenhouse systems are state of the art, man. We have an app in the Apple Store that runs these things, completely automated, and we're able to sell a greenhouse effectively for approximately half the price of any of our competitors out there. And so far, we have only installed greenhouses in California. We've got more business than we can do 2 hours north or 2 hours south of Sacramento. And we have chosen to perfect that because we have approximately 50 people in our install crews that have, continued to improve and refine the process so that we can go in and build a greenhouse beginning to end and walk out with the client being able to plant crops in that within approximately 5 weeks from the start of the project. And that compares to, it takes our competitors 10 to 12 weeks to complete a similar project.
You guys recently announced a major joint venture. I want to lead into that for a second. You guys announced a major joint venture with a leading national tech company. Tell us about the partnership and what it means for your company.
Well, we just announced a multifaceted joint venture with Single Point. One of the things that we believe is, even though the what they call the smart automated greenhouse marketplace is projected to be about $6 billion in California in 2018 through 2020. For goodness sakes, by the way, just capturing 20% of that's $1 billion company, right? But we actually have extensive software expertise in our business. So we wrote this application initially just to work for us and our own company and personally controlled greenhouse markets. But we realized very quickly that, hey, Single Point has expertise in mobile payment systems and in mobile applications. So we've teamed up with Single Point for two things. One, to take the smart app that is in final beta testing and final quality control testing with the Apple Store, and to work with them so that we can package that up and actually make it available to the backyard greenhouse farmer on a commercial retail basis, or perhaps a white label basis. But more importantly, we sell to the cultivator. The cultivator is doing, $1 million, $2 million a year out of one of our greenhouse systems, and we want to give them a better way to do business. So Single Point is coming out with a cybercurrency BitTorrent solution. We have partnered with them in an effort to integrate that into our track and trace software and our smart app software systems so that a legal licensed cultivator can sell to a legal licensed dispensary within the same state for the moment. They could sell 100 pounds of their cultivated product to a dispensary, and they could use a cybercurrency transaction to do so, and they wouldn't be carrying around massive amounts of cash, which creates a security problem, and it would also solve some of the banking issues that exist in our industry. So we're very excited about what Single Point brings to the table, and our ability to bring them into the California cannabis marketplace as a participant in a profitable company, which we are.
Smart Cannabis Corp is the company that we're highlighting today here on Stock Day. They trade on the OTC markets, ticker symbol SCNA, and with us today is the Chief Operating Officer of that company, Don Smith. Don, let me ask you this. legalization is going to be passed or implemented the 1st of January 2018. What kind of projects or activities or cultivation in the cannabis industry do you think that's going to bring positive to your company?
We're very bullish on this. In a nutshell, it's going to be a transitional period. As you know, the California marketplace has for 50 years done what they needed to do in duffel bags and back rooms and so forth. And I'm personally, as an operating officer of a public company, very excited that the legislation is going to bring this into the light. Let's let these people do business legitimately and pay their taxes and make a profit. And we personally believe that the most cost-effective way to produce cannabis in a controlled environment that is tested and capable of letting the consumer see what they're getting is going to be in automated smart greenhouse systems. And we just believe that that our company is in the right place, the right time, with the right message and the right deliverables. So we're extremely excited.
Well, you said a lot today. You said it all. I think your stock is completely undervalued, but I'm just one man's opinion. I just want to let my listeners know you've had 4 consecutive quarters of growth there. In closing, is there anything that we didn't get a chance to touch upon that you would like to get out there to the listeners?
Well, I'd like to say this, and that's this. John Taylor and myself, we are real business people. We've built multiple companies, and nobody's ever given us any money. We've always had to figure out how to make a company profitable and deal with employees of our own volition, right? And what a concept that is in today's marketplace. But I would say that anybody that's looking to place some of their investment portfolio into a cannabis company, they should take a hard look at Smart Cannabis, because I also believe our company is extremely undervalued. Yes, we've taken hits because there's a large outstanding component of our shares, but all anyone has to do is a little bit of due diligence to find out that myself and John Taylor, the 2 officers of the company, control the majority of the stocks. There's very, very little bit of float available to the general public, and we are confident that someone would make a very handsome return on their portfolio by investing in our company, looking at it from a long-term basis. That's what I'd like to leave you with. It's not it's real brick and mortar revenue that we create here.
Well, my guest has been Don Smith. He's the Vice President and also the Chief Operating Officer of Smart Cannabis. Check them out. They're trading on the OTC markets, SCNA. Don, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully you'll come back in 50 or 60 days, give my listeners an update, and bring us some more good news.
Everett, we would be very grateful. And let me just add this. If anyone wants to see current projects that this company is actively live involved in, we've even got drone shots out there of current projects. Please go to smartcannabis.com or nextgen, nextgen.farm, and take a look at for yourself and make your own decisions. And we do answer questions from shareholders and potential shareholders. So, thank you for your time and for this invitation. I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity.
Thanks, Don.
This program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire, LLC, which is responsible for the content. The opinions and information provided on this program are those of the guests and those of the respective companies they represent, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Uptick Newswire. Uptick Newswire encourages all listeners of this program to do their due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that will work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of this program may have paid for its distribution and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Newswire or this station.